Hey y'all, how are y'all doing? It's Monday night. Hope everybody has had a good Monday. Missed y'all last week. Hope everyone had a great 4th of July. We went over to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho to see family, and we didn't go and see any fireworks, but that's fine. We heard plenty of them. The dog heard plenty of them. So, it seems I have quite a few people that are jumping in this evening to hang out and listen. I'm not sure many of them are actually here for true tips and tricks, but we'll see. So, anyway, it is 5:30 in Montana. Excuse me. We're supposed to be getting some bad thunderstorms here in just a bit. The wind picked up just a little while ago, and it looked like it was going to storm, but it calmed down pretty quickly, and the sun's back out. But we're supposed to have some bad storms coming through later this evening, and they're supposed to be like really bad. So hopefully that dissipates and we don't have any horrible storms. So, since I have quite a few people that are wanting to jump in this evening, I want to first ask if you have followed the page, liked the page, if you liked Martinis with Manda page, have you followed the page? Sometimes you gotta do both. You have to select both. And then, sometimes you even have to go into your options or the little pull-down menu and select receive notifications for when we go live. So make sure you have liked the page, followed the page, and selected that you get notifications for when we go live. That way you don't miss these. I got a bunch of people saying that they miss them. So do those 3 things and hopefully you won't miss any more. I try and do them at the same time every week. I'm still trying to gauge when the best time is. It's 5:30 Mountain Time, 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. So this we look forward to next week. So before we get into the actual topic for this evening, we have a martini. And this is a fairly simple martini. This is one that you could probably get at most bars. I mean, you can get it at most bars. Bay Breeze, Cherry Breeze. You can call it Cherry Breeze this evening. So what you need, martini shaker, of course, with ice. You need cherry vodka, cranberry juice, and pineapple juice. And all you're doing is, let me move my stuff around here, you're doing equal parts of all. So, I'm going to take a nifty little shot glass and I'm just going to do 1 ounce of each. Maybe a little bit more because I like more. And I can do what I want because I'm an adult. So, sometimes adulting's not bad. 1 ounce of that, and then 1 ounce of cranberry juice. 1 ounce of each. Then you're just going to shake it up and get it real cold. And then pour. And there is your Monday night martini. Monday night martini, the Cherry Breeze, the Bay Breeze, whatever. It's really good though. Here we go. Yep. If I were you, I'd add a little bit more cherry vodka, just because you can. But either way, that's the martini for the evening. All right, tonight we are talking about yard sale signs. And I'm one of those weird people that it drives me batty to see a yard sale sign on a post and you can't read it, or the wind is blowing it up all over the place, or poor placement. Or just, I mean, it's black and white and you can barely read what it says. You want people to come buy your stuff. You want to make money. You want to get rid of this stuff that way so you don't have to haul it off later. So you want to make signs that bring people in. People drive around looking for yard sales. If you don't have yard sale signs that are eye-catching, guess what? They ain't coming. So you need to make something that pops. Most of the time people are driving, so they need to see it quickly, passing by. If they're driving, they're only going to have a split second to see that address. Most of the time yard sales are, 8 to 2, 8 to 1, earlier than that or whatever. But you want them to see that address. So you want a popping sign. You want something that's eye-catching. You want something that they can see quickly. So I'm actually going to carry us over here. Yep. Field trip right here, because I'm going to show you some examples here in just a second. Yep, even examples, because as much as some of y'all got jokes, some of y'all got jokes, as much as it makes sense to us, guess what? It doesn't make sense to everybody. It's not common sense to everybody. Because if it was, I wouldn't see signs like this stuck to a pole. And Montana's got wind 90% of the time. So if it's stuck to that pole, most of the time the sign looks like that. So while some of y'all got jokes, guess what? It ain't common sense for everybody. So that's why this whole thing was planned. I actually went driving around this last weekend and took some pictures of some yard sale signs. Came across a few where I actually had to stop and pull over and look at the address. And I drove by, and guess what? 9 o'clock in the morning, they had no one there. If you had had better sign, guess what? You probably would have had more traffic. We had a yard sale several years ago before we moved here, and because our signs were bright, loud, and bright, guess what? People came, and we had people traffic all day long. From 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock, we had traffic all day long. And that's because we had signs that popped. People could see them, they knew they were ours, they came. So, let me show you a couple things. If you make signs, try and do like a color theme. Yes, it doesn't have to be that deep, it doesn't have to be that serious, but if people want to come to your sale, they're going to recognize your sign. And if one of your signs is green, and one of your signs is pink, and one is purple, and one is white, guess what? They're going to think it's 4 different sales. So, if you stick with the same colors, they're going to know to follow that sign or those arrows. Like this. What I've done is yard sale really big, someone driving by sees yard sale, Saturday 8 to 2, and they see 123 Main Street. And they ain't my address, because I know how the internet is. So, you want something that stands out, is bold, so people driving by can see. Real simple. What I've done is I've taken, I painted on, I took a paintbrush and painted on some letters real quick after it dried. I took a marker, went around the edges to make it stand out even more. And then when I was done, I made an outline. You make an outline because most of the time your sign is sitting out in the middle of, traffic or whatever. That outline will actually make it stand out a little bit more. So, I made that sign. So, like I said, you want to stick with the same colors. This is the arrow I made. I did the pink and orange. Sale, pink and orange. They know that this person right here, if I want to go to this sale, follow these signs. Real simple. Just like that. Here is another example. I have taken, if you want to use color, now personally, if I were you, always use at least half of a poster board. Because if you go and buy those garage sale signs at Walmart or wherever, most of them are 8.5 by 11. And again, when you stick down on a sign or a pole, people are not going to see it. So, most of your signs, if I were you, always get poster board, cut it in half, and use that. And then, if I were you, if you're going to hang it on poles or stick it in the ground, take some wooden dowels, cut up some strips of cardboard, something, and go down and go across before you tape it onto a pole. That way, so when it gets windy, guess what? Your sign isn't going to do this. It's going to stay like this, so people driving by can see it. So, again, some of y'all had jokes, but this is not common sense for a lot of people. And I bet a lot of you people that had jokes, guess what? You were doing these things. So anyways, with this one, I have taken white paint, painted, traced it in black, wrote in black, and traced in white. Color sign, bright pink. If I were to do an arrow for this one, I would do probably a pink arrow and do a white border or a black border. And then, point, sail or whatever. So, again, stick with the color theme, because if people are trying to find your sign, they're going to follow the signs that look the same. If all the signs look different, they're going to think that's a different sail. So, real quick, yes, I'm going to try and do like a little tutorial thingy here. What I have done, I'll show you real quick how to do this. Y'all are going to think this is silly, but again, if y'all want people to come buy your stuff, your signs need to stand out. Most everyone uses those generic garage sale signs. Most everyone takes just a white piece of poster board and just writes, real basic on it. You want yours to stand out. You want people to come to your garage sale. You want to sell your stuff so you don't have to haul it off. So, what we've done is you take a paintbrush. I'm going to show you in a minute how to do this if you don't want to do the painting. Grab a paintbrush. I took a kind of like a medium-sized one, but it's flat, and a little bit of your paint. And what's best about your yard sale signs, guess what? They do not have to be neat. They don't have to be perfect. They just have to be legible enough for people driving by to see. So, that's all I do. Write out your letter, let it dry. Give it, an hour or so. And then, once it dries, these are my favorite markers to use. Because when I was a preschool or pre-K teacher, they last a long time, they are bright, they are bold, and they work perfectly. These aren't highlighters, these are Sharpie flip charts markers. Usually you can get a pack of, I think, 8 of them. You get like 6 colors and 2 blacks. They are the best markers. You're going to spend a little bit more on them. It's like $8.99, $9.99 for a pack of 8. But again, they last forever. So you've got your yard sale that you've put out in paint. And then all I'm going to do is take a color that is going to make it pop. If you use white, don't use yellow. If you use black, you want to use white. If you use pink, you want to use white. If you use, you want the colors to stand out. So think about what's going to grab someone's attention. What I like to do is trace around the letters. This right here, yes, you see it from the road. But if you take a marker and just go around, again, this doesn't have to be neat. People aren't looking at neatness. They're just trying to read real quick what it says. Take a marker and go around the letters. That makes it pop a little bit more. That makes it stand out. So if people are driving by, that pops out just a little bit more. That's what I do to all my signs. Now, if you don't want to paint, you just want to write. A lot of people don't like their handwriting. My handwriting is not the best. If I have to sit there and do it, teaching a child how to write, I can sit there and, follow the lines and do, perfect, elementary school, handwriting. But my everyday writing is not the neatest. And when it comes time to making signs, my handwriting is not the neatest. So if you want to make great big bold letters, take your marker Again, you can get one of these great big Sharpie markers if you want, and you can sit here and, you know, do your letters if you want. But I would suggest get the Sharpie markers. What you do is just write your letter. So once you've written your letter, all you're going to do is just keep writing it over and over, but making it a little bigger each time. So basically you're making bubble letters. A lot of people, you know, I can't draw bubble letters. All you're doing is writing the letter and just making it a little bit wider all the way around. Just keep tracing it, the outside of it. There. And that stands out a whole lot more than, you know, think about if you just did that versus that. People are going to see this a whole lot easier than they're going to see that. And then if you want to make it pop even more, take another marker and go around. Just like that. Again, it's going to make it stand out. People driving by have a split second to look at a sign. You want them to come buy your stuff, so you want your signs to stand out. You don't have to use paint. You can sit here and write, you know, just like that if you want. And most of the time your yard sale just has to say yard sale, the address, and the time. You don't even have to put the time. Most people know that yard sales are from 7 to 2, 8 to 2, something like that. So make sure you're using bright, bold print. Always outline the sign. If I were just to put this somewhere on a pole, it's not going to stand out as much. I can take my paint and go around the edges, or I can, you know, take, you know, my marker, and I'm not going to do it because I'm against my wall. I can take my marker and just go around the edge. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You just want it to stand out. So if I were to sit there and do that, it stands out more so people see it. So, I see there's several of you guys watching, and no one is commenting, so I'm guessing, hopefully you're watching. If you have any questions, please ask. Like I said, we had a yard sale several years ago, and people followed our signs. I did my signs similar to the orange and, let's see if I can get them. I did my signs similar to the orange and pink. Like this. And I had it big, and I had some taped to poles, and you put dowels or cardboard strips or something in the back. That way, so if it's attached to something, even if you put it on a yardstick or a dowel or something to stick in the ground, stick something in the middle and the back to keep it from bending like this if the wind were to pick up. And again, use the same thing. That way so people follow your signs. That one matches that one. People are going to follow those. Large, bright, bold print, outline them, and that's basically it. Stick them in places that are busy intersections. Don't bother with necessarily the street at the end of your road unless it's going into a heavy street. Try and place it in places that have a lot of traffic. Always use, you know, thick tape. It doesn't matter if you tape from top to bottom, side to side, just as long as you tape it on there strongly. Because unfortunately, when I was driving around this weekend, there were some signs that I saw flapping up like this. So as I was driving by, I couldn't see anything. All I saw was whatever's up here. Most of it just said, you know, yard sale or garage sale. So hopefully those are some of the things that will help you guys in the future. And this is signs for anything. Let's say you're hosting a baby shower. Let's say you're directing people to a wedding. Let's say, you know, you're hosting a party of some kind. Same tricks and tips. You want people to know and you want people to see. So use those tips for making signs. Only going to cost you a couple dollars. You can go to the Dollar Tree and grab you a poster board for $1. Like I said, you don't have to use paint, just use markers. But always, anytime you make a sign, use at least half a sheet of poster board. These little 8.5 by 11 things. I mean, you can get little garage sale signs at Walmart. You can get, it doesn't make sense to me. You put that up there. Who can read that as you drive by? Not many. The bigger, the better. Make them sturdy. That's about it. I mean, it's really simple. And like I said at the beginning, some of y'all thought this was silly to do a little tutorial on yard sale signs, but it's not common sense to a bunch of people. Like I said, when I drove by sales this week, there were people just sitting there and didn't have any kind of traffic. Nobody came to their sales. I bet you at the end of the day, they had to haul most of their stuff away because they had poor signs. But if you have big, bold signs, people can follow and they know where to find you. So, any questions? Any thoughts? Any of your own tips? Again, I always welcome you guys to share what you all know. I definitely don't know it all, but this is one of my biggest pet peeves. And again, I drive around at the beginning of summer and see everybody, doing their yard sales. And I'm like, you know what? Some of these people need some help. So I figured this was a good little tutorial to do. Yes, Bethany, an interesting topic. Exactly. But think about it. If you go into JCPenney, if you go to Kohl's, if you go to the mall, none of their signs are going to be stuck in a window like that. All of their signs are going to be big, bold. They want people walking the mall to see them from far away, and they want to read it from far away. They want to see that JCPenney's is having a 50% off sale, and that's going to draw them to come to the store. Same thing with your garage sale, your yard sale. You want people to see it as they're coming up to it. Again, they're driving by, so they're going a whole lot faster than walking. So you want them to be able to see it, take notice, and be able to see all of the details as they're passing by. The biggest thing, another thing is, you don't have to put yard sale at the top. You could do your address really big and then just do yard sale under. That way, so at least they see that. And again, matching arrows, signs to the right direction. It's really that simple. So again, the reason why I did this is because it's not common sense to people. Like I said, this weekend, a sign was up like that. There was one sign that didn't even have anything written on it. There was one sign that was completely wrapped around a pole like that. I mean, literally, they taped it around the pole like that. So if you really want to sell your stuff and make money, there's just a few tips that might help. Okay, so before I end, let me tell you about next week. Next week is a cake-themed Monday. Who doesn't love cake? I came across a recipe that I did years ago and I loved so much. I was like, ooh, I have to do it. And then, of course, I found a martini that went along with it. So next Monday is a cake-themed Monday. We're going to make cake popcorn, birthday cake popcorn, and then a birthday cake martini. It's going to be exciting, huh? So, super simple. Again, birthday cake popcorn won't take you but 5-10 minutes to make. Martini will only make you a couple of minutes. Again, I strive to make your guys' Monday nights better. I know that many of you guys have difficult Mondays. Nobody really looks forward to Mondays, but I look forward to them now because I get to share these tips. So, next Monday night, birthday cake theme, popcorn and martini. The next week, we are doing, I can't remember the martini, but we are doing century bottles. People, if you're a teacher, you know all about century bottles. If you have a young child, you know about century bottles. Fun bottles that keep your children entertained. It's good for quiet time. It's good if they need time to calm down. Good to travel with. We're going to do some of those. So, hopefully you guys have had a good Monday. Hopefully the rest of your evening goes well. You enjoy the rest of your Monday night. And hopefully I will see you all next week. So until then, bye.